This is
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my show once again Beyond the Cover. And also Marcel, thank you so much for your show. It was really lovely this morning and I will recommend you everyone to check on it. Now on this show specifically, as I mentioned on my first episode, we're going to talk about something that many people might consider a taboo or might consider just an hobby, which is fan fiction. We're gonna touch on its definition, brief history, and I say briefly because I've been writing fan fiction for quite some time. And I never thought that fan fiction has its own history. And we're going to dive, at least briefly speaking, on this issue because I think it encompasses a lot of things. So we're going to touch that. Also, the tags used in fan fiction and terminologies. Again, I'm going to say those I'm more familiar with, but keep in mind there is a lot to talk about on this subject. And also, how fan fiction helps writers to start their journey on writing, because believe it or not, it does. And also, on the end of my show, I will spread information about next month's book festivals and events, because I think this is very important. And since my show is about books and literature, I think this is a topic that might be interesting you. Now, the definition of fan fiction. So, fanfiction is a piece of unauthorized writing created by fans to express their love, passion, creativity, ways about their favorite characters, will beating from a franchise. And it's true. I've done this all my life. Well, not all my life, but for a periods of time. And like I said, this actually is a fact. Even though I'm using someone's copywriting things, I do know it's not mine, but I do it for fun. And I do because I absolutely love their work and I love the characters they created. And maybe because I feel connected with them, maybe because I like the world building they created. And this, in a way, it is a way to express from a fan perspective how they love the author. Believe me, this goes really far beyond video games. It can come from anywhere, and we're going to touch this on this definition. So this means the fan uses copyrighted characters, as I explained, settings, and other aspects of the original creators as a part of their writing while keeping the original characters as settings at their own or both. And this is true. I know and remember when I was doing a fan fiction from a specific video game, I introduced some, let's say, original characters. Because why not? You can do this. Even though the work is not yours, you can introduce them just a way to practice your writing. And again, we're going to touch later on how writing fanfiction helps your writing. So, fanfiction in terms of length can achieve from a few sentences to novels, collection of works, or small stories. It can be based on fictional and non-fictional media like novels, movies, comics, television shows, music groups, cartoons, anime and manga, and video games. As you can see, it's a large, vast thing you can write about. And I'm going to tell you, it can be ultra fun. Because again, you are already exploring writing and literature without even knowing it. So the original creators of the source material don't accept fan fictions to be a source for their canon lore since it deals with copyright, which I will touch on that subject in the story of fan fiction that on itself is already a rabbit hole. Believe me, it can be a rabbit hole, and we're going to explore that. Of their creations, however, they appreciate the love and passion for their fans expressed about the world they created. And it's true, some authors specifically don't even want fans to write a fan fiction for this specific aspect because it deals with things that are not created by the fans. However, it has its positive things. And again, I'm going to tell you later on what is the positive things. Even though some creators don't like fans to write about their own specific stories and the world, because again, copyright is a real thing and can put people in trouble, and I completely understand why. But has its own positive thing as well. So usually, but not always, a fan fiction story is related to the subject's canon fiction universe, or not diverse from it. Again, depending on what the writer wants to explore. An example could be a fun writing alternative world of Bloodborne, by the way, is a video game, on a modern universe while maintaining the same characteristics of the source material and lore of the universe of the Bloodborne. And this happens a lot. And this is going to be in the tags subchat about alternative universes. And this is very, very popular among the fans. So basically, as we all explore here, the definition of fan fiction is a piece of passionate media specifically aimed for fans to create community, bond with each other from the same things they like. As you can think, guys, there's nothing wrong to write fan fiction. You do it because you're passionate about someone's work, you like the characters, and you like the things they actually tell you. You like the message. Maybe you connect with a character that you feel, oh, this is actually me. Or I feel it because they share something that I personally I do not show to others. And you, as you can see, this also brings inspiration. And now, for this, I'm going to introduce one of my music that's from a video game. So I'm going to introduce you the Beneath the Mask soundtrack of the video game Persona 5. Now, this specific song is a very interesting one because what I get from the lyrics, it is about hiding parts of yourself that you consider not acceptable or parts of yourself that you consider a little bit negative. While the lyrics itself represents that, and this is all connected with the video game because the video game is about these students that go to the school at day, but at night they use masks, which is their own on themselves, the rebel part of themselves, because they're fighting against monsters that are conquering their own world. An interesting thing I've found is on the shores, which it says, I'm a shapeshifter of the pose masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, what else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark.
Where have you been searching all along, confessing while alone and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked, where have I been? I'm a shapeshifter at those masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, what else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me, that's where I found an empty glass, reflecting as a truth. It's telling words that to be told. I need that mask. I'm a shapeshifter at this masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my have to see me, just a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, afraid for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise.
Hi everyone, I really hope you're enjoying the song from the Persona soundtrack Beneath the Mask. Now, as we stopped the prior, we talked about the definition of fan fiction, and now we are going to talk about the brief history of it. As I dive into the history of the fan fiction, I realized that it was a rabbit hole on its own. Many are considered to have existed before Shakespeare, creating mythologies, legends, and even the Bible, which fall into the category, simply because in these times the copyrights didn't exist. Everyone claim each other's words as their own. Others go even further to speculate that Sherlock Holmes can be in this category for the simple fact that fans will discuss which of the Dial's works were and weren't part of the Holmes canon. Also, another point of highlighting is the fact that they pressured the author with angry letters and full-on street protesters to bring their character back after he was killed off. Yes, originally our beloved Sherlock Holmes was supposed to die, but the fans were happy about it, and their voiced their own opinion about it. Say, hey, we want him back. He was a cool character. Why'd you bring him back? So, of course, unfortunately, many fans even today still engage in these acts, and it's true. Unfortunately, even despite the fandom itself, it is a good way to start to communities and bond with these people. People sometimes can be a little bit violent and very cruel to others, unfortunately. And I unfortunately have witnessed those. And I see all this can even affect the creators plus the community. And we're going to touch on that as well. And as this become clear, Sherlock Holmes fans wrote fan fiction even though there wasn't a term to describe at that time. The work of Sherlock Holmes, as well as similar early fandoms of the time, like incarnations of the Pickwick Club and Jane Austen's sequel, serve like a blueprint for what will evolve into a fan fiction as we know today. So you can see, guys, even all back in these times, fan fiction existed, but the term definition wasn't that evolved yet. It was maybe something like, oh, I like this author, so I'm going to write about that, but because I like this character. So there's this passionate fans. But copywriting laws weren't approved until the late 1700s. And intellectual property initially protected creations only for 14 years. So you can see, guys, it's been a law so that even the copyright started to exist and say, hey, this is the author of the thing. You have to protect it because it's original stuff. It's really, really interesting to know all this stuff. It's really interesting. At the time, two major revolutions of accessible printing by invention, a later commercial of the mammograph in 1884 and its equal future, photocopying and commercial Xerox machines, gave fan fiction open doors to flourish. However, when on 1960s, with the love and passionate creativity of Star Trek fans, creating on its own the modern phenomenon of fandom and fan fiction that we know today. And we're going to see that because I think, as fanfic writers and probably even fan artists, we have to thank the Star Trek fans because they started all of this, and we're going to see how. Originally, fan fiction was a term used to describe science fiction created by amateurish fans. In contrast with professional writers who use the term pro fiction, thus making for amateurs to use the term fan fiction. This term circulated around in the 30s, but its meaning changed when Star Trek exploded into pop culture. So it is Star Trek who started all of this. So congratulations, guys! I love you. With the huge popularity of the series gave birth to a fanzine called Spokanalia, way before the second season and published in 1968. This magazine, created by fans, produced a lot of these, such as number of fan works related to Spock, poems about the character, and essays explaining Vulcan culture. These pieces became important for fandoms and gave the first baby steps for what will become modern fan fiction. And believe me, guys, I have clicked on this magazine. It's still online. So if you want to give a look at the name Spokanalian, it still exists, it's still out there online. And I have to say, Joe, thank you so much for this. You give the fan fiction a word and a meaning. And thank you, Star Trek fans, to started all of this. Really, thank you. It's thanks to you guys that we have the passionate writers that write stuff that they like about the characters. And it's so amazing. We have these places when fans can express the love and passion of their authors and creators. And the creators themselves can see this passion and love. And who's going to see fan fiction is actually it good. So continue on history. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, loved so much his fans that he actively interacted with them, encouraging their works, going as far as calling Spokanalia a must reading for all new writers that contributes a letter to the second issue, because there are issues in this magazine. With encouragement and the amount of readers wanting to contribute, design continued for 4 issues. Wow, amazing. Well done, guys. Well done. The encouragement of Star Trek cast and crew also served as an example of creativity amongst fandoms. Tons of other fanzines, example of the creativity among fanzines, containing fanfics come along with this phenomenon. Star Trek overtook the sci-fi fan community in the 70s, then Battlestar Galactica, Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy in the 80s, then X-Files and Star Trek, TNG in the 90s. As nerd culture and pop culture became a large part of the culture, so did the fandoms and the fan fiction, and then the internet arrived. Wow, what an amazing thing to actually explore about fan fiction, and it's not done yet. And as a thing to celebrate, because we talked about Sherlock Holmes, I'm going to introduce you my favorites of Sherlock Holmes' introduction of the series from the actor Jeremy Brett, the 1984 series. This song, it's brief, but it says it's Sherlock Holmes. It's classic, it's classical, but it's absolutely fun and I love it.
Keep it locked right here.
Dream Catcher Radio.
Keep it locked right here.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Hi everyone, and welcome back once again. I really hope you enjoyed the Sherlock Holmes intro music of what I've produced. I absolutely love it. Now, continuing when you left off, the internet arrived. And I'm going to tell something very interesting because then other fandoms arrived as well. With internet fandom and fiction, widespread accessibility and freedom of communication provided support for later fandoms. Shannon, Warrior Princess, the X Files, fans of anime brought over the 90s, and Harry Potter. In October 1988, the website fanfiction.net was the first site to dedicate to fanfiction, which includes elements to share fanfiction via completed with archives, genre organization, and a search function. As you can see, this website offers already the doors for the fanfiction to be there and the people to share and connect with each other. It became a success. The oldest fanfiction available on the site is an X Files Mulder Scully shipfic titled Little Helper, written by Shelley Nantos, who continued to write and submitted fanfiction to the site until September of 2018. And yes, that fiction is still there. I checked myself, it's still there. And despite the popularity of X Files fanfictions on its early days, now this is going to be touched as probably an author you guys don't like, but we have to talk because again, it's the fanfiction history. The work of J.K. Rowling Harry Potter series became the popular ones thus far. For you guys to have an idea, the first 2 years of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stones US release, there are over 1,200 Harry Potter fanfics on the fanfiction net. It's a lot. And when the movie came out, it reached over 615,000 by 219, became the size most populated category. Wow, what an achievement, at least for the time. Similar to Spoken Alien and X Files Fix, seeing others writing the original stories of the established franchise made fans comfortable. And let's be honest, it is comforting. There was a mentality of everyone's doing it that grew popularity, spreading online to other fandoms online into a massive presence on fanfiction. The other fandoms that contributed for this phenomenon were Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Doctor Who, and anime fervently consumed by early internet adapting generations. For example, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Inuyasha Bleach, etc. Those fanfic populated mostly by kids and teenagers who quickly took the internet, bringing online communities to flourish, and consequently fanfiction was born. So as you can see, it is a really journey to go to fanfiction. And oh my god, it is so interesting to see this stuff. As I wrote my fiction myself, and once I was seeing this, I was like mind blowing. Wow, what a journey. However, while this awesome passion acted like a simple desire to express how fans love someone's work, on some occasions it brought copyright laws to acts, and you're gonna actually see a good example of this. But after a number of failed to stop of fans creating stories because of the copyrights and several requests as it met by fans, IP holders pulled back their pursuits to stop fan works and realized the contribution of such fan creations. They realized that by the fans writing the stories, it could contribute for free advertisement of their properties. Because of online communities grow so much, it would be impossible to please so many fans. And a lot of creators supported fanfic writers, seeing as a flattery and for young writers to share their skills. As you can see now, the positives are this. You're not only advertising online the thing that you are passionate about, you also say, hey, check this out. This is actually good. See how these authors create this world that you like. See it. Go check it. Now, this is the part I'm going to touch about the copyrights because this might be, some I agree. I on the side that this should actually have been touched before it was published. So there is a controversy here. As we have touched prior, fanfiction is used by by other authors, correct? We use it. We are fans. We're just doing it because we are passionate about it. There is one particular case that went out to publish. It's popular among and broad controversy and for a good reason. I'm going to explain to you that this topic is a taboo among fanfiction writers, as it is important to discuss it. As we know, many fanfic writers publish their stories and earn a profit from them. One notable an example is A.L. James' series, including 50 Shades of Grey, which originated from a fanfiction called Master of the Universe, a Twilight fanfiction. Now, there is nothing wrong for you to gain inspiration for something, even a fanfiction, there's nothing wrong, but then you create your original stuff from there. The thing is, as we have touched before, this fanfiction, the Master of the Universe, is a fanfic Twilight, which means the fan is using unauthorized material for the Twilight series. And because of that, I think the book could have been an inspiration from the fanfic story, but it has to not have a direct copy of the entire story. It touches on the legality. Remember, L.A. Chains takes the fanfic work, which was discussed today, is a fan work that expresses their passion for the franchise they usually don't own, the original Twilight series. This situation is questionable, as L.A. James is, in my opinion, could have been inspired by the idea of, let's say, the BDSM parts, and then develop the characters and explore them in depth. Believe it or not, many writers start as fanfic writers, and then they began to build their own creations. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting inspiration from your favorite IP and creating your own ideas. Still, one thing to note is copying and passing the entire thing, claiming it one thing to note, is original, and then profiting from it, which can lead to a loss. Of course, in this case, it was the case, but then again, we have to be careful with this. If you're a fanfic writer and you are starting from the fanfic, remember to then push to your original stuff. Remember. So, it is my opinion on this situation. Fanfiction should remain on its designed place, while also providing a space for new writers to gain experience and enjoy their writing journey, ultimately leading to the creation of their own original work. In contrast, fanfiction should stay as it belongs to the original work. Now, continue on the fanfiction history. Nowadays, fanfiction is thriving, and a lot of its fanfic websites are coming up for fans to express their passion of their favorite franchises like I Cover My Own and Wattpad. On the websites, they've been used to also share fanfic like Tumblr, DeviantArt, Space Battles, more focused on Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica. Jedi Counseling Forums, a forum for Star Wars discussions and fanfiction. Filmfic, an archive dedicated to My Little Pony fanfiction. And Reddit, while not a fanfic website. And let's continue. On Reddit, while not a fanfic website, includes several subreddits about sharing and discussing fanfiction. Fanfiction helping the integration of nerd culture into mainstream of pop culture with comic books, stories, fantasy, TV, and video games, becoming mainstream, helping fanfic becoming the less odd and shameful of it. And this has a fanfiction history. I hope you have enjoyed this extensive explanation as far as I can go, and have the curiosity to try it yourself. I mean, fanfiction, as in many cases, good fanfic writers produce good material. So the next song is from a gothic band, The Cure, Burn, from the Crow movie from 1984. Now, this song is a very beautiful song, and I think it describes very well the character Eric Draven, about his loss and grief of the loss of his girlfriend. The entire song describes well, but I think the chorus really enlightens that. Every night I scream your name, every night I burn, every night the dream's the same, every night I burn, waiting for my only friend, every night I burn, waiting for the world to end.
The radio station you can't live without.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Hi, welcome back once again, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed the song. I know I did. Now, I know I've said in the beginning that we're going to talk about the rest of the things about fan fiction, but time is running out, and I think we can discuss in another week. What I'm going to say instead is the book festivals and events in the next month in UK, which I think will be very interesting to dive into. Now, the first I want to mention is Brentford Literature Festival in Yorkshire and the Humber from 27th June to 6th July. So I got some information which I brought from the website, and I'm gonna just say some bits over here and there for you guys and to choose and see what you're more interested in. So from this one, it says Bradford Literature Festival is one of the top three largest literature festivals in the UK and Europe's most eclectic and diverse literature festival. Renowned globally as an innovator within the cultural sector, BLF forges international partnerships, curating diverse, innovative, and inclusive programs. At the heart of BLF is a committed and artistic brilliance and contemporary discourse, combining renowned literature figures with up and coming voices to create dynamic programs that spark dialogue and delight audiences. Our representative programs give a platform to diverse and often underrepresented narratives, providing a stage for reach, the varied perspectives, and fostering engaging discussions, even on the most challenging topics. We do this because we believe culture, literature, and education have the power to change lives. Themes for 25 to 2025 range from ancient Egyptian to Shakespeare, Gothic literature to civil rights, as well as events on rebellious royals, performance poetry, and more. Now, the next festival is Belfast Book Festival in Northern Ireland from 5th to 12th of June. Now, each June, we invite you into your beautiful Victorian home to meet, watch, and listen to storytellers to write your own stories to get crafty, to build, borrow, or buy your summer reading list. At the very least, let us introduce you to the colony of swifts that the crest is a home to. Spot them in the skies around us from the late April to August. The Belfast Book Festival is a platform Northern Ireland is bursting with storytelling talent that we bring to you via series to conversations, workshops, residents, and awards that seek to connect, amplify, and showcase our creative communities. It is also a collective endeavor as the festival continues its focus on innovation and collaboration. It is a collaborative endeavor as the festival continues its focus on innovation and collaboration. Each year we welcome a team of culture associates. And the next festival is Borders Book Festival in Scotland from 12th to 15th of June. Borders Book Festival hosts from 100 events in June each year, with the latest fiction, current affairs, history, and politics, along with the personalities from sport, music, and entertainment. There is something for every age and interest. We also host a range of health and well-being sessions to take part in during the festival. A family-friendly site is free for all to explore, where you can enjoy your local artisan food and drink, browse the bookshop and marketplace, and entertainment by local artists and musicians, all in the beautiful surroundings of the Scottish borders. Next is Access Books Festival in East England from 28th of May to 30th of June. The festival was established by Exeter County Council in 1995 to celebrate the book in all its forms in the widest possible audiences. It has grown exponentially since then. Now, recognized as one of the leading festivals of its kind in the east of England, it invites writers and artists from all the world to take part in its activities and events. It hosts a year-round series of writing and reading programs for all ages and abilities, including workshops in HMP and WOA Elshford. It became an independent charity run by a board of volunteer trustees in 2011. Now, Leatherbury Poetry Festival in East England for 27th of June to 6th July. Ledbury Poetry Festival is an exclusive international and inspirational celebration of poetry and spoken word over 10 fabulous busy days live in Ledbury and online to the world. Surrounded by orchards and hills, poets from all over the world gather to read, debate, and share their work with readers and curious audiences. Award-winning poets stand alongside curious audiences. Award-winning poets and stand outside upcoming talents in thrilling electric mix of events and workshops, music, exhibitions, and bike rides. It's all yours. Dig deeper into interesting ideas, taking poetry over a pen, craft your own writing style, or showcase your skills in slam. Barnes Children's Literature Festival in London from 21st to 22nd to June. Because we believe that every child should have the opportunity to experience live literature. And now, with Barnes Children's Literature Festival in London from 21st to 22nd of June. Because we believe that every child should have the opportunity to experience live literature, we are very proud of the fact that we use the income from every ticket you buy to provide the largest free literature festival schools program in the UK. And this year, we have provided over 21,000 places at our awesome author and illustrator events, free for state primary schools all over London. As well as bringing you and your favorite authors and illustrators, we have always published the boundaries of traditional literature festivals to create loads more space for the family friendliest fun. At Barnes, we program books as theatre, music, maths, science, art, craft, cookery, film, football, whatever it takes to bring the magic of reading and writing to the kids. On the next, Books by the Beach in Yorkshire and the Humber from 6th to 8th of June. This year's Books by the Beach features a healthy of the best-selling novelists and non-fiction authors from around the UK. We will be hosting historians, journalists, broadcasters, and true crime experts. There's a wonderful variety of in-conversation events and illustrated talks and dazzling the boots to savor. We hope you enjoy the festival, having fun chatting to fellow book lovers while you are there. Britain Book Festival in South East from 18th to 21st of June. We are a community where writers from underrepresented backgrounds are the main event, and diverse audiences can see themselves reflected. A space that gathers together authors, poets, illustrators, musicians, and other creatives from the UK and around the world for a book festival like no other. This year, we will deliver a series of 17 fantastic events across Britain and 4 global online events, all happening during the UK's Independent Bookshop Week. Britain Book Festival has proven to be a diverse and inclusive space where people of all ages and backgrounds come together to celebrate humanity. Beacon Lit Festival in Southeast from 12 to 14 June. Our claim is to celebrate and expand the literary arts in Hudson Valley with a strong focus on inspiring and connecting book loving audiences to diverse, high quality literature voices in and around. Arden Festival in East London from 21 to 33 of June. The Harlem Literary Festival began in 2015 with a simple idea to provide a space where people could show down, come together, and connect with nature. Our authors don't just come to speak, they come to stay, share meals and conversations. You might find yourself discussing poetry under an old oak tree, learning about local wildlife with your children, or sharing coffee with your favorite writer. We want as many people as possible to share in this experience, to find quiet inspiration, and to take home memories and connections to endure long after the festival ends. Red Wings Book Festival in East London and then only on 14th of June. Our story begins as it does for many charities, with a small but committed group of people desperate to make a difference. And this also is a charity about donkeys, if you go to their website. There's just something about animal lovers and books. Whatever you are into trailers, romance, historical, non-fiction, or children's literature, there's really something to satisfy the interest of every type of reader, as well as the opportunity for bonding our authors to get advice from incredible established names and new authors. Watch us coming through. And this is the end of the book festivals around the UK and even some parts of Scotland as well. I want to say that some of these events also going to have writing workshops. So if you guys are writers yourselves and you want to sharpen your writing, go there and enjoy and make some connections with writers and see how what they say. And if you want to share your work as well, go for it. I will advise you to do so. And now because my show is about to end, I will introduce my final song for the show. And it is a soundtrack once again from a film that is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. This soundtrack is that awesome scene where the beloved Spider-Man is just falling to the New York City. And when you look at that scene, when he opens his arms and his legs are stretched, you see the fabric flowing into the air. You see how well it is designed and how amazing and awesome it is to listen to sound when you go down and swing around New York. Hi guys, once back, and thank you so much for listening to this song. I really hope you enjoyed the absolutely amazing song of the soundtrack of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know I loved it. Now, I only know these book festivals in the short period of time, which thanks to Bradley, because he showed me once one festival, which is, I think, in Scotland, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which is just not just about books, but the entire, I think, is small city, small village. It has 28 bookshops. Wow, I want to go there one day. And I'm absolutely looking forward to just explore that city and explore the place and meet new people and festivals. And I hope with the information I give you today about the book festivals around in the UK and Scotland, you're also going to find one interests you. And as I mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again, if you have a piece of writing, you would like some feedback, or you feel someone will absolutely like to read it and give you their opinion, go for it. Just experience what is to be there to connect with other writers and other book lovers or bookworms. That is the expression we love to say, right, about ourselves, that we love literature as well. And I hope that you like the music I brought for you today. I just tried to select musics that were more connected with fandoms mostly. Probably some more popular than other ones, but I hope that you guys really enjoy it. I know absolutely have absolutely an amazing time to find these songs because I know these songs might be very connected with you all. And I absolutely hope that you guys really are going to enjoy also my next episode of my part three, which I'm going to continue explore fan fiction. But because of the time, I'm going to talk about the tags used in fan fiction and terminologies and how fan fiction helps writers to start in the journey of writing. And I'm going to tell about my experience and how from fan fiction I brought to my original writing. Yeah, and apparently I think the next week is going to be a good weather in England, which is really sometimes very rare and very very hot. Like my gosh, here the hot weathers are absolutely maddening. You get rash of sweat and you just really get really hot, guys. It's just an absolutely nightmare. But of course, for those who are not used to very hot weather, this is a paradise for you. I can completely understand. Like you're very used to the raining, to the clouds, and to the things. And yeah, right, yeah, folks, keep writing and keep your imagination flow. And I hope you guys have enjoyed my show today. And see you next week. Bye for now.